Should you be flipping in 2024? What is our new model, and what are the 3 things that you need if you decide to take a leap into the investment side of the business? Just in case you're curious, the sun's blocking us here. We'll just go, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just.
That does the
there
trick.
There we go. Perfect. Yep.
And let them know what it takes to start flipping, right? Okay. Save your money and don't spend it on cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are in the peak of summer, 106 degrees. Mason Matt's, his AC doesn't even work half the time, but that's okay. And right now, I'll be honest, visibility is at an all-time low.
Honestly, this windshield is rough.
This windshield, so what the camera sees right now is actually what we see. Mason Matt's been here before. He knows it like the back of his hand.
Are you a lost cause? Spent most of your days with the outlaws. Deep down, you know they don't love you for you.
So, this is how we comp houses in 2024's market. Guys, the house that I'm currently standing in, I'm gonna give you the exact breakdown of what went into it when we were looking at this deal. Property was sent to us for $275,000 initially when the investor sent it to us to underwrite. After looking at the comps, there was multiple comps, anywhere between $400,000 and $20,000 as low as $365,000. And these are all comps within a 300 square foot plus and minus of the subject property. And we are also looking at the exact bedroom and bathroom count, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. In this specific situation, there was no outliers, but in other situations, we would use a 3-bedroom, 1-bath as a comp, just because that is not as desirable as subject, and we would just make adjustments based off of that. After looking at the comps, we realized that we have to go and get eyes on the property to see what the property needs as far as renovations goes. Photos are not usually the best, but sometimes we have to go based off photos. We had the chance to come in and take a look at this property, and we realized that it needed $50,000 worth of renovations because we needed to do floor, kitchen, bathrooms, pretty much everything other than roof and AC. Fencing, landscape, the whole 9 yards, all right? That being said, we budgeted $50,000 for renovations. We had a carry cost of a little bit over $10,000, and that is roughly $2,700 a month, and we accounted for 4 months of hard money. 30 days for listing the property, 60 days for renovations, and 30 days to actually close on the property for the end buyer to actually move in. We also have to take in consideration that there is a cost of selling the property. We account for 5%, which takes care of our realtor fees, our buyer's agents, realtor fees, and also closing costs and maybe concessions that we're gonna give when we're selling the property. That came out to roughly $19,450. Once we add up all of these fees, also I did forget, we have $5,000 of closing costs when we are purchasing the property from the investor because we have to take care of his closing costs and our closing costs. So we have to take care of both closing fees, so we account for $5,000. After adding up the renovation, the closing cost on the purchase, the cost of sale on the exit, and then also the carrying cost, and we subtract that by what we are going to be selling the property for, which we are left with $303,717. Subtract that from the original purchase price of $257,000, we are left with a net profit of $46,717 after all the fees are taken care of. We would count a deal like this as a win. It was quick and easy, and if you ever have any deals in Mesa or have a buyer looking in Mesa, hit us up.
So, as you can see, the market is way different from when it was back in 2021. Instead of doing $50 a square foot, now there's long, complicated carry costs, reno, after repair value, plus 5% of total cost of sale. It's very different, which brings us to the point of this video, which is if you're looking to get started in flipping in 2024, what are the 3 things that you need to know that you're ready? Okay, so the 3 things that you need when you're flipping a home is experience, buy box, and enough cash to make sure you can stay in the game. So first, experience.
Experience. So what we mean by experience, guys, is go and shadow people. Understand what the whole construction process looks like, and without risking, your money by yourself. Go get experience from other people that have done deals in the area that you want to do deals in, so you could have a clear understanding of what that market looks like and what obstacles that you may need to, cross over when you're doing deals by yourself. The way that we view experience is we've done 20, 30, 40 deals with other investors here in the Valley without having to risk our own capital before we got started. So essentially what I'm saying is go and chaperone other people and provide value to other people and, learn the ropes from them before you jump into one flip by yourself and risk it all. The number one way that a flipper will say yes to you to chaperone them and gain experience from them is bringing them a deal, which is essentially providing them value.
Now we have buy box, which we covered in another video about flipping, but essentially what that means is you know exactly what you're there to buy. So when we go and flip a home, Mesa Matt historically only flips Mesa homes. I mean, this is kind of his area, but that's because when you go through and flip 20, 30, 40 homes, you realize the ones that make the most money, that have the least amount of risk, that also have the most manageable construction crew, like all these logistics that come together. This is the piece that's important. So when you're looking for your buy box, you want to go through and know what areas do I know best, what size of home is most common in that area, and what is the year that has the least amount of trouble. For all the people that know cars, a great example would be you don't want to buy an old M5 because you know the engine's going to blow up, or the old, I want to say V10 M6 because you know that that's going to break. You wouldn't do that. Your buy box would be within certain areas, within certain square footage, within a certain year, in a very specific mapped out range.
The last thing you guys should have before jumping into your next flip is going to be cash. What we mean by cash, guys, is having a safety reserves, right? So just because you have enough money to hop on your next deal does not mean you're ready for it. You need to have enough reserves because if you, God forbid, had to lose your money on that flip, are you able to do that? Some people are not, and they save up every nickel and dime they have just to go into their next flip, but then it's significant, It's
basically gambling. You have no money to do it. You put it all in the market, and you're deciding, well, I hope this works. And if it doesn't, you're out of everything.
What's going on, guys? So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house here in Mesa. I believe it's a little bit over 1,100 square feet.
God, it feels like a mansion.
It's beautiful. So we're in the kitchen. Kitchen actually there used to be a huge wall here. Kitchen used to back up against this wall. Everything used to be secluded. So the living room and the kitchen were completely separated. And, it was just pretty claustrophobic in here.
I was telling Matt, if this home were placed south of the 60, I would have purchased it. But if it was, it'd probably be worth $600,000, not $400,000.
Exactly. For the bathrooms, guys, on this one, I went with the big tiles. I just thought it would be clean, simple, didn't overthink it, and, I'm really happy the way it turned out. Look at this. This is like one whole tile, and it's like the perfect width of the shower.
Snug as a bug. I mean, 2 for 2.
Come on.
Some people say win in Rome. We say win in Mesa.
Exactly.